Windmill usage for electricity, pumping, etc. I think it's a good idea. I think wind is a little bit less consistent in terms of power than solar would be, right? Like, and I don't know exactly how many windmills or how large a windmill converted into a turbine to turn X amount. Like, I don't know how many, inches or feet of a fan on a windmill converts into power. But if you understand the science and you understand how that works, I think it could work. I think the only issue I would have is, like I said, just the consistency, right? Like, if you live in a very windy area, I could definitely see it working for you. If you live in an area that is just intermittent, I'm not sure if they store power the same way a solar panel does. I'm sure they do to some degree. Like, you wouldn't want something that's just only dependent on when it actually works. But I do think it could work, right? Infrastructure costs money. Make sure that the price makes sense for how much you're going to actually use it, for how much water you're pumping, how much electricity you're actually getting from it. I think the best thing to look at is in your area. I'm more than sure there are people who are trying to get off the grid. I'd find kind of what solutions they're using, what's worked for them. It's kind of one of those things where, like, just like with farming, when you first get in the game, you want to talk to people who've been in the game for a while, or at least have been in the game and lost and learned the rules. So ultimately, wind power, solar power, even sometimes people use hydroponic dams and things like that, like, or hydroelectric. I said hydroponic, hydroelectric dams. I would say get with somebody in that area, see what the best use or the best green energy source is for that area, and just capitalize off that. But anything where you're mitigating your cost or your cost of being on the grid and you can justify it, I'd say go for it. Solar panels are expensive. They take a lot to make. They take a lot of good, expensive parts, a lot of expensive minerals to put together. A fan for a windmill, not so much. So maybe the initial capital expense to put it up is justifiable when you look at electricity savings overall, right? Like, I think start off with the grid, see how much your burden actually is. Because if it's not a lot, then it really doesn't matter. But if it's a decent amount and you're adding a lot to it, then I'd say look into it.